So, Persona is the last series to talk about here, and we'll get right into it because this one is probably one of the most popular in the series. Obviously, not the first game, but the series itself is probably one of the most popular kind of spin off games from the Shin Megami Tensei series. And you can see here, here's the first game, Shin Megami Tensei. Well, this is actually Megami Ibun Roku Persona, which is like side story of the goddess, I guess. It's not like a. I know in the U.S. it's actually titled Shin Megami Tensei, but it's not a Shin Megami Tensei game. It's like a side story. It's not actually part of the main series. But Persona. This is Persona 1 on the PS1, and also I have it on the PSP, and it's a first-person dungeon crawler, and I love first-person dungeon crawlers, and I love this game. I've played through it twice, but there's two main routes to play through. So you have like the regular route and the ice cream route, and I did both of those, and I don't regret I think 90 or so hours it took for each playthrough. Definitely worth it. This game is amazing. I like the characters. I know the English version is like butchered beyond anything you can think of, but did they fix the PSP version in English to be the same as the Japanese version? I don't know, but I hope they did, because that original one on the PS1 was just no. No. But yeah, this right here starts the Persona series, and it's like I said, it's closer to the Shin Megami Tensei If than it is to any of the other Persona games, which might put some people off. I think a lot of people these days don't seem to like first-person dungeon crawlers like I do, but again, I grew up on those. It's kind of like the first types of RPGs that I played back in the kind of late 80s, early 90s, and it's the kind of things that I really enjoyed playing. So to play this again was it's like a very nostalgic feeling for me. I kind of really enjoy these types of games. But that brings us to, of course, Persona 2. This is Persona 2 Tsumi, which is Innocent Sin. It's written on the cover. Persona 2 Innocent Sin on the PSP, and this game, it's also on the PlayStation 1, but I don't have a copy. And PlayStation Persona 2 is great. I can't really. I think a lot of people get the feeling that this is like very old school in its kind of play, and there is a lot of kind of random battles and load times in both cases, PS1 and PSP versions. But if you don't mind random battles, if you don't care about that kind of stuff, like you just whatever random battles, that's cool, then you'll like Persona 2, because the story is amazing. I really love the story for this game. I like all the characters. I think they're all interesting. They're fun. They say goofy things. I don't know what the English versions say, but in the Japanese version they say goofy things all the time. Their battle quotes and things are delightful. I still have them like stuck in my head, and like I would always play them for people when they were over my house, and they'd think they were goofy and funny too. So it's definitely like a kind of endearing game. But it's also got like a great story where, like, in the end you're fighting Hitler. It doesn't get more crazy than that. It's great. You can't go wrong. Persona 2 Innocent Sin, or Tsumi, is definitely a must-play. But it's only half of a story. Like Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2, Persona 2 is split into two games. So you've got Persona 2 Tsumi, and you've got Persona 2 Batsu. And this is Eternal Punishment in English. I always have to check the English names. I play all these in Japanese, so it's kind of... I don't know the English names for a lot of these. But Persona 2 Batsu is probably one of my favorite Persona games. Character-wise, I love the characters for this game. They're all older, which I enjoy. I think they're all adults. They all like work jobs and things. It's the kind of thing where, like, in the other Persona games, there's kind of like this thing going where like when people are older, they can't summon personas anymore. But in this game, you have like Baofu, who is like the Chinese guy. And how old is he? I don't know, but he looks like he's like in his 30s. He's still like summoning personas with no problem, which I like. I like the idea of it. And you know, again, all the characters are more grown up, and the themes are more grown up in the sense that like, you know, there's lots of, you know, more adult type situations that happen, which I really like about this Persona 2 especially, but in general. And Persona 2 is, you know, this one came with a soundtrack. I got the soundtrack, but you know, definitely. I don't. Is this game out in the U.S. yet? I think it is. If it's not, you're sorry, you guys are still waiting for it. But if it's out, then definitely buy it, because even if you haven't played the first one, this one is still like a lot of fun. And if you did play the first one, you can import your data, which is also cool. So you get an extra bonus there. And next we have Persona 3 on the PSP. And again, I don't have Persona 3 on the PS2 anymore because I gave it away. But eventually I'll rebuy it. I'll rebuy FES, I guess. But Persona 3 on the PSP is actually probably the best version. If it had the FES content, it would be hands down the best version, because they changed the fighting system to be like Persona 4 in that you can control everybody instead of not being able to control everyone, which is bad. But yeah, Persona 3 is actually, I really like the story, I really like the characters, the setting is cool, everything about it is cool. I like the enemies in the game, not the normal shadows, but the kind of antagonists, the other group of Persona summoning people. And I think the character designs are really cool, but everything about this game is so good. I think I spent 120 hours on my PSP playthrough. I probably more than that on the PS2 one, because the FES content was longer. But you know, of course I maxed out my levels, and I have the like, you know, the highest level demons and stuff. And when you max out the levels and stuff, it kind of makes the game pretty easy at the end. But I don't think I ever maxed out all the social links in this. It's I'm not good at managing that stuff, and I don't ever want to use a guide to do it. So if I play through it again, I might be able to do it, because I kind of have an idea of what to do. But you know, the first time and even the second time, I came close on the second time, but didn't quite make it. But anyway, Persona 3 definitely a must play. And finally, my last game in the Persona series at the moment, Persona 4 The Golden. And again, I gave away my PS2 version. But Persona 4 The Golden, definitely worth playing. Definitely, for me, worth buying a Vita. It was, I've spent about 90 hours in this so far, and I'm pretty much at the end. Pretty much. I've got a couple months left. But, you know, all my characters are nearly maxed. They're all in their 90s now. And you know, I still have the bonus dungeon to do in this, which is new for the Golden, and there's some extra bonus content that's new actually in this. There's new characters and new social links, which is cool. And again, I'm at the end, but I haven't maxed out the social links, but I came so close. I got like almost everything up to 10, except for like 2 groups that I have at 4, which is like such a pain, because I really wanted to max everything out on the playthrough, but I just couldn't do it. I kept doing other stuff by accident, and I never got to get to the end. I actually have 2 at 4 and 1 at 9 that I couldn't get out because I couldn't leave town. So yeah, anyway, Persona 4 The Golden, actually. I should talk about this because it's new and it's not out in the US yet, but it's actually got a bunch of new content that's totally worth playing. If you've already played Persona 4, there's enough new content and enough like interesting new stuff that you wouldn't mind playing through it again just to get that, because you get like a little bit more interaction with the characters, you get different kind of stories and events that happen, and you get, of course, entirely new things that weren't in the original game, including an extra dungeon and some extra bonuses. So I can't recommend this game enough. It's definitely worth having a Vita for, and there's actually a lot of good stuff on the Vita now that I'll probably talk about in another video, but currently Persona 4, best game on the Vita. So yeah, that will end my extremely long Shin Megami Tensei collection video. And again, it's not complete. I'm still missing a few things. I don't yet have Persona 4 The Arena, even though it's out. Again, I mentioned earlier the Devil Children games I don't have, but there's also a couple Last Bible games that I'm missing. Another Bible, actually, on the PSP, on the Game Boy, is one that I've just been looking for. I haven't been able to find a complete copy of it, so I haven't bought it, but that one is kind of like a strategy RPG, but on the Game Boy and in the Last Bible world instead of Shin Megami Tensei or Majin Tensei. But it's similar in play to Majin Tensei. And then there's also Last Bible Special on the Game Gear, which I will buy, but I don't have a Game Gear, so it's the kind of thing that, like, it's pretty low on my list. Not because it's a bad game. I've actually played it, played through it entirely, but it's the kind of thing that, you know, I just keep putting it off because I don't have a Game Gear, a physical Game Gear at least, and it's the kind of thing where, you know. So and then all the other stuff is mostly doubles, so like, you know, the PS2 versions of the Persona games and some other stuff. But, you know, of course when new stuff comes out, I buy that too. But I don't know, I think beyond that I don't have a lot of other stuff to buy. But I do have a lot of different versions that I still need to get to really, like, complete the collection. So I guess, you know, I'm still collecting. But yeah, so that would be my Shin Megami Tensei collection, and I think this video is going to be like over an hour or something ridiculous. So I'm just going to end it here, and hope you guys enjoyed it, or got through to the end at least, because that is a lot of games that I talked about. So thanks for sticking by it, I guess, if you got this far, and I'll see you guys next time.